What's going on, guys? Zuko back with another Dragonflight video. I hope you're all doing very well. I just wanted to do a quick video about the Crest system, the upgrade system that's in the game now, and a little piece of it that I'm not sure if everybody knows, and I'm not sure if you guys know, so I want to make sure that you're aware of it. Right now, if you're probably the average player experience, I would say, is that a lot of your gear is going to be at what's called the champion level. And of course, there's different levels of gear acquisition. If you're like a decent enough player, you're probably doing Mythic Plus keys around the plus 11 to 15 mark at least. And within this last couple of days or the last week, you've probably transitioned into doing plus 16 keys or above if you're doing Mythic Plus, right? And if you're doing Raid, you very likely cleared normal because it was quite easy, and you've probably almost cleared Heroic, or maybe you fully cleared Heroic already, and therefore you're getting gear at a particular level. You can see the normal gear here is dropping at what's called the champion level. That's the track. You can see the upgrade level is the champion track there. The Heroic Raid would be dropping stuff at the hero level, which is the next track up. So why do I talk about all this? Well, it's really easy to acquire champion level gear. It's actually quite easy to get it, and it ends up dropping at, it starts at about 415 item level, and you can rank it up all the way to 437. You can see my helmet here is up to 437. Now, it's very, very easy to upgrade champion level items. It doesn't take a whole lot of resources whatsoever, which is why it's actually a very efficient way of gearing. So, starting at 415 for everybody in the beginning of this patch would have been basically on par with whatever level your gear was, or a little bit lower than whatever your gear was if you had a very, very highly farmed character. So starting at that champion level, let's look at this Homeland Raid Horn, for example. If we go to the upgrade vendor here, I can put in the horn. You can see upgrading it to champion level 3 literally costs no crests at all, just flight stones. More flight stones here, and this costs one of the regular crests, which, not regular, just a Drake Shadow Flames crest, which is basically the second level of crests. So again, that's an easy upgrade for me. It doesn't actually start costing me any real like resources until I get to this level, which is champion level 5. Then it starts costing one of the Worm Shadow Flame crests, and then as I keep going, of course, it's going to start costing a lot more. So that means that the champion track, you can essentially get to item level 424 pretty easily on almost any piece of gear that you find that's in the champion level track. You can take it from 415 to 424 very, very easily without very much investment at all, which is why getting items on this upgrade track is actually really efficient. And it means that you to get items like this, you have to do Mythic Plus at plus 11 to 15, those key levels, or again, normal raid, or normal raid basically. So what I've done with most of my gear is I've acquired a whole bunch of champion level gear, and I've upgraded it all the way. So I have a champion here. This is a champion one here. This is 5 out of 8. This is hero. This is hero. This is champion. This is champion. This one's champion all the way to level 8. You can see kind of the theme there, right? Champion rings. Most of my gear is at this level right now because I have fully cleared normal raid. I've cleared half of the heroic raid, almost. Well, actually, no, we cleared most of it. We got all the way to Sarkareth last night. So I've cleared the entire heroic raid except for the last boss. And I was pushing a bunch of keys at plus 11 to 15 within the first week of Mythic Plus being open. So if you're in a similar boat to me, your gear is going to look very similar to mine. I do have a few heroic pieces thrown in there that I've gotten from raid, etc., etc. But the real problem with this idea of getting a lot of champion level gear and upgrading it very, very quickly through the upgrade track is that it starts to cost a lot of these crests right here, the Worm Shadow Flame crests. This is the third tier of crests. If you look at my backpack here, the first tier is, of course, the Whelpling, and then we have the Drakes, and then I'm all out of the Worm one. I literally have none left. I have farmed all the worm fragments that I can, and I have farmed all of the actual crests that I can. I actually have some of the Aspect Shadow Flame crests, which is the highest level of crests, and that comes from doing Mythic Plus content at a plus 16 key or higher, or doing the heroic raid. That's where you can also get these aspects, Shadow Flame Crests, and you can see I still have a few more fragments to actually earn. Now, if you have gear that's like mine, you will find the bottleneck is going to be these worm Drake crests right here. The third tier of crests. Those are the ones you're going to run out of because we are capped on the number of crests that we can get of each type. So you can see right here, the fragments that I've earned, I'm at 241 out of 300 for the Aspect Shadow Flames crest for this week. So I can only earn about 2 more keys, 2 more crests, in total for the Aspect Shadow Flame crest, and then I'm done for the week. I've already capped out my the third tier one here, the Worm Shadow Flame crest. Those are all done for me because so much of my gear is the champion level, and you can see right here. If I want to upgrade this, I can't. I need a crest. If I want to upgrade this one, I need a worm one. Even the hero level gear also requires these Worm Shadow Flame crests until you get to the very highest rank of that, and then it only requires 1 of the aspect ones. But you really do need a ton of these Worm Shadow Flame crests if you're in the same kind of ballpark as I am when it comes to upgrading your gear. So what do you do if you want to solve this problem? Because I'm having a real problem right now with it. And the biggest thing that you're going to want to do is come to this guy. This is the exchange, Shadow Flame Crest exchange person, and he will exchange for you. Just one second. So what you do is you click on this, and you can always exchange down. So you can take your highest aspect Shadow Flame Crest and actually create a Worm Shadow Flame Crest. I'm going to do one right now. Boom. So now I have 1 less of the aspect Shadow Flame Crest, and I have 1 of the Worm one now. So now I can take my gear, and I can upgrade whatever I was hoping to upgrade with the Worm Shadow Flame Crest, including my hero gear. So this might look bad on paper because you're like, hey, you just took the best crest that you can get, and you dumbed it down to the next level. And that is true, except that all of my gear right now is essentially in this level. It's at this level right now. So I need all the upgrades that I want to get. I need to be using these types of crests. So it's very, very important that I actually am able to get more of these crests. And this is the easiest way to go do it. Even if you farmed your full amount of fragments that you can possibly farm for the Worm Shadow Flame crests, you're capped out. This doesn't count towards that cap. So you can always go here and exchange from an aspect down to a worm and upgrade the gear that you've got on your character. Now, I think right now, this is totally worth doing. Even though, as I said, this is like a higher value crest than this one, it's worth getting the item level upgrade right now to make your character much, much more powerful so that you can actually push into those higher keys, into the higher raids, and not feel like you're doing no damage and feel like you're dying all the time. So this has been my strategy right now, is to use essentially all of my aspect Shadow Flame crests and turn them into the Worm Shadow Flame crests so that I can upgrade all the gear that I have on currently, and then I'm going to upgrade that as high as it can go, and then I'll start acquiring more of the hero gear as I go, and I can start upgrading that hero gear later once I'm... Like, next week, I'm going to go and do a bunch of higher tier keys, and then I'm able to essentially turn those into the Worm Crest. So if this is a situation that you guys find yourselves in, make sure that you take advantage of this situation right now where you can exchange the higher tier aspect crests and turn them into the worm ones. I think it's actually a really, really good strategy right now if you're in a similar kind of gearing boat to what I'm in. So I just wanted to make sure you guys understood that. This guy is in Loam, in the city down here, in the new zone, in the Zarelek Caverns, so make sure you come here. It's Kuzloth, the item upgrader, right next to the... Kuzloth is right next to the Shadow Flame Crest exchange person. So make sure you come down here, get those exchanges going, and upgrade your gear so that you can really pump with the current setup that you've got going. Okay? I just want to do a little video on that. Thank you guys so much again for watching. I love you all. I'll see you in the next one.